What's up guys, and welcome to today's video where I want to show you how to increase landing page sales by 79%, so how you can drastically increase the revenue and sales and conversion rate that you are getting from your landing pages, whether you are in eCom or some other space. But first of all, let's discuss why landing pages, like why not product pages or something like this. Well, first of all, landing pages are usually more complex than product pages, right? So product pages are always very simple. You have a picture, you have the title of the product, the price, then some info and things like that. And also it's easier to edit landing pages than it is to edit product pages. So product pages, especially on Shopify, they are very strict. You can edit them if you know how to code a little bit, but else it's quite difficult to make very big and large adjustments other than, you know, changing colors and text and things like that. And also on landing pages you have full control, so you can change literally everything. You can change the whole appearance, you can add elements. For example, if you use ClickFunnels, there are a lot of things you can do. Zipify, Pagefly, there are many landing page builders that integrate directly with Shopify. And this is what we're talking about in this video and why I think this is very powerful. So the first thing you should focus on when you build landing pages and you want them to convert, which is obviously what you want to do, think about the main benefit to the customer. And this is important because I know many people who are building landing pages, they are actually focusing on what they think is the best thing about the product. So you might think, well, I have an amazing price, right? Your product price is great, but your customer may not care about the price at all, or the customer may think that the price is actually not that cheap, and you should have focused on something else that is not the price. For example, the quality or what you can do with it. So the main benefit, why it is useful for the customer. You need to know your customer well, and if you have a landing page, usually you're just selling like one product and maybe several upsells. So you have a very clear target audience and you can talk about them directly. So if you're selling like kitchen stuff to a mom or so or something like that, you can talk about, you know, how she saves time preparing the food and all this kind of stuff, and how she can, I don't know, have spent more time with their children or something like that. Whether this is now a benefit or not, I don't know. But yeah, this is something that you can use as a benefit that may be valuable for the customer. And also don't be vague, include numbers if possible. So you remember the headline of this video is how to increase sales by 79%. And this is not because I think every one of you will be able to increase sales by 79%, but because it's a tangible number that gives you an idea of what is possible. It's not a number that is, you know, totally random, that is totally unrealistic. It's definitely more than possible to do that, but you may also increase sales by like 10%, 20, 50, 200%. Same goes for your headlines. Use a number if it's applicable, so that you can that people can immediately relate to it. So if you say something like save 30 minutes per day using this product or something, this is something that is tangible, that people immediately think has a great benefit. Also, your headline should be like 6 to 12 words. If it's shorter than 6 words, I made the experience it's very hard to express the value proposition or to bring something across really. If it's more than 12 words, it's usually confusing. People don't really have the attention to read the 18 words title. It looks a little clumsy, it doesn't look so cool. And this is why I think 6 to 12 words is a pretty good area or range you should stick in. Also, make it stand out and put the headline in the center. I see a lot of people who have landing pages at the top left or top right or somewhere in there. Usually it's best to put it in the center, and of course use a big font to talk about the landing page. And last, the only purpose of the landing page, the headline, is to make people continue to read. So it's not like you have to put so many features and benefits and everything in there and talk about the product directly already and, you know, add some other stuff. The only purpose is that people get interested enough to read the rest of your page. So don't try to sell in the headline. Don't try to add too much information. Don't try to add all kind of things. Only make it interesting enough so that people have that you have the people's attention, that the people continue to read. And this is what a good landing page should do, so that people spend more time on your page, or time at all in the first place. The second is minimize customer decisions. This is the second tip that is super important. So if you keep this, you should keep the page simple and straightforward, one direction. So yeah, I'm not talking about like the band here or something. It's that you should keep one single direction for the customers, so they shouldn't be able to, you know, change directions all the time, go to the left, to the right, scroll up because they there is some other information. Then you have like multiple links where you can tell people, hey, this is another product you might test, this is something here, check this out, check our FAQ. If you have too many links, too many distractions, too many options for people to choose from, you're not keeping it simple and straightforward, and you will see that your bounce rate will increase highly because people don't continue, they're just too confused, and it's basically work for them, right? Making decisions whether they should keep reading or check something else, it's work, and you should avoid that by all means. Give them one possible choice wherever it's possible, whether it's a sign up for a newsletter or a sale. It should always be the main action that you have in mind, and everything on this page should be directed to the sale. So if you have multiple sections, make sure that you have some buttons in between so that people can go to the checkout at every point in time. Also, if your main goal is a sale, don't, you know, mention your newsletter in every single section, or don't try to turn them into a lead all the time if you want the sale. Of course, it's helpful to sign up people to a newsletter if you don't get the sale, but it should not be the focus. So make sure that if your focus is the sale, the newsletter sign up is just a secondary thing that people can do. Probably it's something you can do as, you know, when people try to leave the website, some last resort abandonment, you know, with a discount or something. Also, don't leave people with questions in mind. If you have a landing page and they still have questions or something, it usually means that you didn't explain the product and why it's beneficial well enough. Now, of course, offer a live chat or phone number at the end so that you can tackle exactly that, but don't heavily advertise it. So don't make it almost like mandatory to use this live chat, because this landing page should speak for itself, and the live chat or phone number should only be there so that people who really wouldn't buy because they have one certain question, one specific question, like about the shipping or very specific product question, they cannot and the question doesn't get answered anywhere on the page. Make sure that you offer something like a live chat or phone number, because else you may lose certain customers if you have a very specific question you don't buy without this question being answered. So offer them the opportunity to actually contact you, but don't like heavily advertise it, and don't rely on that as something that can help you make more sales. Third, you need a strategic upsell plan. So what I mean with this is that your upsell should fit the original product. And I talk a lot about upsells in this channel, but I see people still, you know, they have a certain product and they upsell all kind of strange things, right? You offer a person a toy for children, and you upsell them, I don't know, a pair of sunglasses or something like that. It sounds strange, but I literally see so many stores who do that. If you use upsells, which I definitely recommend to do, make sure that you think about them strategically. So it could be something that goes well with the product, like some additional batteries, or even something like an extended guarantee that you can apply to pretty much every product, especially if it's a gadget or something like that. But it could also be something way more expensive, of course. So I don't know, if you sell a very, very low or medium ticket item, you can offer the next best solution that is like 3 or 4 times the price, but now you have one foot in the door, and people might think about it and say, well, this is also something that I could need very, very well. If you're selling some sports stuff, you may, some hiking gear, for example, you may upsell them on something much, much better that still goes well with the initial product, so that you can increase your average order value. Also, use 2 or 3 purchases as potential upsells, which means if people buy, for example, a consumable product or something that is relatively cheap, offer them to buy like 3 products at the same time for a discount of, for example, 40%. This is something that always works very well in funnels and in landing pages. Offering people to buy like 3 products, 5 products or something like that. You can say that it can be for a friend, as a gift, or just for you, and you will make some big savings here. This is normally something that gets pretty high conversion rates on these landing pages and funnels. But this is also important, don't offer more than 2 or 3 upsells in a row. I've been through funnels where you get to the first upsell, then the next upsell, the next one, and I literally had to click 6 or 7 times until I'm done with it. And this is definitely not the best way to start the relationship with a customer. At some point, the customer just doesn't want to deal with that anymore. And after he clicked like no thank you 2 or 3 times, and you still offer more and more and more, the customer may think whether it was actually the right decision to buy from you, because you're so annoying with your stuff. don't offer more than 2 or 3 upsells in a row. 3 should really be the absolute maximum. After this, you know, people just get annoyed, and even 2 is like, actually 2 is more like the maximum number you should focus on here, but 2 or 3 is still both okay. And the last thing when it comes to upsells is that you should make upsells irresistible. That means upsells cannot be something where you have to think about a lot, right? If you have an upsell, the value should be so clear and the price should be so good that people don't think about it much. In many cases, when you have, for example, digital products, people are selling a $7 membership to something, and then when you buy this, they get to the next level and they offer you some course for, let's say, $97 instead of $997 or something. Whether this is true or not is another question, but fact is that if you offer something that is not too expensive and you really see the value of it, like if you have a product and you say 70% discount and you list all the benefits and the features of it, it may be really an irresistible offer. And the point here is that you don't have to maximize the profits of these upsells because you made the sale anyway, and everything that comes after it is pure profit. So don't be cheap here. Don't make the price extremely high. Offer them great discounts and great prices so that you can just add extra profits to the initial sale. And the last strategy is do A/B test the right way. The right way means, first of all, only test 2 variations if possible and not more, because else things can get you know, confused. You don't know exactly what was the thing that caused the increased conversion rate and things like that. Also, don't make assumptions. Like many people, when it comes to A/B test, they make assumptions what will work better. And also, especially if you don't have statistical significance, people say, page 2 worked better because the conversion rate was 2% and the other page, the other variation was only 1.8%, even though we just had like 15 clicks or something. Well, technically it's not possible to get a conversion rate like this with 15 clicks, but still, you get the idea. If you have a limited amount of clicks, don't make assumptions that one page will be better than the other. You have to test it more in-depth way. So if you just have very low amounts of traffic, like 20 clicks a day, 30 clicks a day, don't test at all. Because you may think testing is always good, but if you have very low amounts of traffic, first of all, it's a lot of work to make a full test with a lot of different changes. But also, if you have low traffic, it simply doesn't really make sense. Like one page could be better than the other, but it may just have been some random noise. And sure, technically it's better to test something than nothing, but you won't get any results that will take you anywhere. So it will all be random, and this kind of makes the test useless in the first place. If you still want to test though, make sure that you make major changes to the page if you have limited traffic. So if you, like I said, only get 20, 30, 40 clicks a day, make some big bold changes to the page instead of just like changing the headline or changing some colors. This is something you can do if you get a lot of traffic and sales, but if you don't, for example, create an entirely new version of the page, create an entirely new structure. So this is something that will definitely have an impact, and where you can get from like 1.5% conversion rate to 3 or 4 because you made so many big bold changes, whereas just changing the headline may probably get you from, I don't know, 2.5 to maybe 3% or something like that. So this is it about the A/B testing part, and this is it also about the whole video. I hope that you like this little 4 strategies that you can apply to your landing pages. As I said, whether you use ClickFunnels, Zipify, or any other landing page tool, it is suitable for eCom, but also for other industries. So this one was a more general video in this case. If you like this video, it would be amazing if you leave a like here. Also comment if you took something out of it here today and which of those is your favorite strategy, or whether you're using them right now already. Let me know in the comments. Also let me know if you want to see more videos like this. And of course, if you enjoyed it, it would be amazing if you subscribe to this channel for more info on marketing, e-commerce, and yeah, as here, landing pages and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you will subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.